Hey guys, it's Julian from sgCarMart. Welcome back to our reviews, and today we have the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. If you're thinking about trading in your car and getting a new one like the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, well, you can try selling it with Quotz. Did you know you could be losing up to $5,000 in value when you trade in your car? Quotz uses its network of dealers to get you the best price possible. In fact, they're so confident on getting you the best price, if you sell your car for a higher price, they'll give you $100. Don't just take our word for it. Look at the hundreds of raving reviews on their website. To find out more, visit quotz.com.sg. That's quotz.com.sg, Quotz.com.sg. Now, back to this. More importantly, the RAV4 Hybrid we have here today, it's inoffensive or unoffensive? Overall, it's a very inoffensive package. I mean, you look at it and you know that instantaneously, it's instantly recognizable. You know what I mean? Like, you look at this and you can't think that it looks like a Ford or a Honda. Something like this. So it's instantly recognizable. It looks very rugged, very strong, muscular sort of look. I like it, to be honest. I think it sort of stands out from the crowd of SUVs. At the side, the wheel arches right here is protected with those hardy plastic, just to again showcase just how rugged and outdoorsy this car really is. The only thing I want to complain is the gap here. It's kind of big, I don't really know. You could probably put a can of Coke here or something. It's just too big for my liking, but it sort of makes up for all this with this stylish 18-inch wheel, sort of chrome in color. It's very nice, very neat. As a matter of fact, I kind of like it more than the design that we recently did in the Sorento Hybrid, but that's just me. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is priced from $196,888. The 2.5-litre hybrid engine produces 215 brake horsepower and 221 Newton meters of torque. The eCVT transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km per hour in 8.1 seconds. For more details on the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid or any other car, head on to sgCarMart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. At the back, you get RAV4. Well, it's not like the usual car makers, the modern cars, where you get like RAV4 spread across or like Toyota spread across the width of the rear. Maybe it's because RAV4 is too short, I don't know. But this works for me. It's very neat, it's very clean. In case you guys are wondering, RAV4 is recreational activity vehicle 4-wheel drive. Open up the boot. It's the slowest opening boot ever, period, ever. But yeah, once you open up, you are faced with 542 liters worth of boot capacity. It's not the best in its class. The Tucson Hybrid that we've done before, that's actually 620 liters. If you want to know more about that review, you can click on the pop-up banner right here. So as I was saying, it's still very reasonable because it gets the job done at 542 liters. It passes the anti-trolleys length test, check-in luggage, and then some. So to give you a perspective, this is what 542 liters look like. Ta-da! The spare tire is now underneath, so it's quite, you know, nicely packaged, because in the past, the previous RAV4 had the spare tire on the top here. So while that looked really rugged, and I know a lot of RAV4 followers, they're like, you know, that is a real RAV4. If there's no tire at the back, it's not a RAV4. Well, times have changed. This is a lot better. It looks better, it's more functional, it's definitely neater as well. As you would come to expect from an SUV, you get ample leg and headroom as well. I can even slide my feet underneath easily so I can stretch out nicely and just slouch and make my back injury more painful than it already is. But It's a crazy spacious car here. I mean, you get a lot of space. The seats are comfortable, soft, supple, even the center portion here. But here's where it really takes the cake. Although the transmission tunnel is not completely flat, there's a bit of elevation here, it's very wide. As a result, you can actually easily put your feet here. It feels like Toyota engineers actually thought about this, like to rest your feet here. Instead of something so narrow that you have to sit like this all the time, they actually thought it out really nicely, and it feels very comfortable. You don't have to eat into your, other occupants' leg room. Not even shoulder room is being compromised. And it's soft and it's comfortable. So yes, space is definitely the royal order of the day at the back. If you're a family man, no sweat, you got ISOFIX points that's hidden here as well as here. And if it's just the two of you guys, you can just pull this down, have a cup of coffee, put your phone, your barang, whatever, what have you. All around it feels great, but what's really great is the fact that it comes with aircon vents here. So in sunny Singapore, this works very well. You have 12-volt socket here to charge up your electronic devices as well. The only complaint I have is, from where I'm seated, there is nothing here, nothing. You can't put stuff, magazines, phone, whatnot. It only comes on this side of the seat, so you have to be seated here if you want to put stuff. I don't like to sit here. I like to sit here. This is my favorite spot, and there's nothing here. I'm just being complainy, back hurts, affects my mood. At the helm, it looks very nice, very coherent, very simply laid out. It's not over-cluttered, you know what I mean? You still get all the physical buttons that you need to use on a daily basis, such as aircon buttons right here. Instead of diving into the menus here, you get proper gear lever instead of like rotary knobs. So everything you come back, when you come into the car, the first thing you notice is just how car-like this really is compared to what it was before. So there's nothing much to complain about that. You're faced with a very regular multifunctional steering wheel. Beyond that is your instrument cluster. Again, very straightforward. You have your infotainment system right here, also very straightforward. Where it becomes more modern is the fact that you have wireless charging right here. So you can just put your phone, put it right there, let it charge. You've got auto hold function, which is woohoo! You've got all your different driving modes right here, cup holders here, and small cubby holes here. I just don't understand why this car doesn't come with ventilated seats. It should come with ventilated seats, man. I mean, it's over $190,000, no? I mean, even if you remove the fact that COE is now crazy high, you should still have ventilated seats. That's the least you can do for, customers who stay in crazy sunny Singapore. But that's just me. Here's the thing, I really like how the materials, there's a good mixture of materials around here. You've got soft rubber here, you've got nice leathery look-alike sort of rubbery soft touch feel with stitching, no less. It feels good. All this are soft until you move lower down and you start a bit of plastic. Oh, this is not really plastic. You got plastic. But here's the thing. It feels vault-like. It feels like the car can last you for like over a decade, easily. The only thing is, can the drive last you over a decade? Well, it's one way to find out. So the Toyota RAV4 hybrid that we have here today pumps out some 215 brake horsepower and 221 Newton meters of torque, and all these figures come from the 2.5 litre engine up front. Now that the figures are aside, more importantly is just how this car really performs on the road. Now there's very little to complain. It's a relatively perky SUV, even though it weighs just slightly above 1.6 tons. It's very well insulated. When we're just cruising at like 80 kilometers per hour, external noises are kept well at bay. You don't really hear a lot of road noise. You don't really hear a lot of wind noise, even though the wing mirrors are huge. No crosswinds whatsoever. But get this, because it is so quiet, and also because of the hybrid engine, how hybrids are, they're very quiet. But because it's so well insulated and quiet, when you decide to do overtaking maneuvers and floor, can you hear that? The CVT drone sound, the droning is just, it's as if someone is shouting at my ear. Ah! Constantly, and it's very annoying. Of course, that said, once you're up to speed, all that sound just goes out the window. The relaxing disposition is back. At least it feels that way. And that's always a problem with CVT, so it's hard to overcome that, although it does make light work of heavy traffic. Pros and cons. And obviously, the argument from Toyota is obviously with CVT it helps with fuel economy, which I can't argue, despite driving like crazy madman for the past couple of days. I'm still getting about 19, 20 kilometers per liter. It's not so far off from the stated 21 point something km per liter, but it's still very decent, right? Because the recent hybrid SUV that I did, the Kia Sorento hybrid, could only manage about 13 to 14 kilometers per liter. That is heavier. It has 7 seats. This has only 5. I think from a consumer's perspective, when you talk about hybrid cars, it's always about being fuel economy, and for that, the Toyota aces, for sure. And of course, if you want to know more about the Sorento hybrid review, you can click on the pop-up banner right here. We've already done that. I do have one small other complaint, but that's just really finding fault with the car, and that's the fact that the brakes feel very grabby, so you do need time to get used to it. So we go in brake. If you press too hard, it comes to a very sudden stop. So it's a bit grabby, but you sort of just need time to get used to. The only thing I cannot get used to is this. Yep. And of course, from an SUV's buyer's perspective, I mean, this car soaks up. It's a very pliant SUV. It soaks up all the bumps and ruts. No fuss, no nothing. It's easy. But of course, as you could possibly imagine, as an SUV of this size, when you go around bends, you can't deny the laws of physics. You know, even if you go around slowly, you still feel a little bit of roll. It's very well controlled, considering compared to its peers. But when you go around the bend, it's not as wobbly as you would imagine. It's still quite well controlled, but I wouldn't take this fast around corners. No one would. I would think that a potential buyer of the RAV4 hybrid wouldn't actually do it, because I know I wouldn't, unless I'm alone. It's fun, but it's dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it. So the big question, of course, is it a will buy, won't buy, or go try the Toyota RAV4 hybrid? Well, I would say you should go try the car, because at this price point, you have other choices to consider. Given a choice, personally, I would go for this car because this is enough for me. I don't need a car that's better spec, better looking, anything. I want functional, and when you buy an SUV, functionality is key. However, if you're the sort of buyer who wants to fork out slightly lesser, but you want to get a lot more car, which is completely understandable and completely agreeable, you might want to consider the Hyundai Tucson hybrid, because that's better spec, it's more modern, interior, it's hands down a winner. I can't really say the design is nicer because it's really up to individual preferences. But yes, you should keep your options open for now if you're looking for a hybrid SUV. Hence, you should go try the car. So there you have it, guys. That's a review of the Toyota RAV4 hybrid. Hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I have driven the car. Please do share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because apparently 80% of you guys out there aren't subscribers. But if you guys are, it'll be a lot easier for us to reach you, and vice versa. Please also comment in the comment box below and let us know what you think about Toyota RAV4. Is it a will buy, won't buy, or go try? Also follow us on TikTok. Our handle is @sgCarMart. In the meantime, stay safe, be well. Ciao. Okay. This is like the slowest ever boot opening ever, period, ever. And I don't even know why it's only open halfway. Someone is shouting at my ear.